It was 3:07 a.m. when I heard the front door creak open. At first I thought I was dreaming, the faint metallic click of the lock, the uneven shuffle of footsteps on the hardwood floor. But then came the unmistakable sound of her voice. Soft, slurred, guilty. "Damn it," she whispered, dropping her purse with a dull thud. I lay there in the dark, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it echo in my ears. For weeks I'd been pretending not to notice. The late nights, the new perfume, the way she suddenly guarded her phone like it was a state secret. But something about the sound of her stumbling in at that hour made all those quiet suspicions crystallize into a single, ugly truth. She wasn't coming home late. She was coming home from someone else. I didn't move. I just listened, every sound slicing through the silence like a knife. Her heels clattered across the floor, followed by the faint zip of her coat. Then a muffled giggle, hers. But she wasn't on the phone. She was replaying something in her head. Something funny, maybe something he said. I felt a sickness rise in my throat. When she tiptoed into the bedroom, I closed my eyes. Pretending to sleep felt like the only way to survive that moment. She paused at the doorway, probably making sure I hadn't woken. The faint smell of whiskey and cologne drifted through the air. Not mine and not hers. She moved closer, slipped under the covers beside me. Her hand brushed my arm, cold, trembling. "Long night?" I asked, my voice cutting through the dark. She froze. "Mark, you're awake?" I turned to face her. Even in the shadows, I could see the panic flash in her eyes. Her makeup was smudged, her hair tangled, and her blouse rumpled in a way that had nothing to do with the wind outside. "Yeah," I said. "Hard to sleep when your wife doesn't come home until after 3. "I told you I went out with Kelly," she said too quickly. "We were just talking." I lost track of time. "Right." I let the word hang there. "And you couldn't answer your phone because?" She blinked. "My battery died." I almost laughed. "That's convenient." There was a long pause. I could see her trying to decide how much of the truth to tell, or how much she thought I already knew. "You don't believe me?" she asked softly. "I don't want to not believe you," I said, my voice breaking slightly. "But you're making it damn hard." Her eyes welled with tears and she turned away. "You're being paranoid again, Mark. You always assume the worst." That word again hit me like a slap. She was rewriting the story already, making me the unstable one. I didn't argue. Not yet. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, while she turned on her side and pretended to fall asleep. Her breathing evened out quickly, but I knew it was fake. I could feel the tension radiating off her body. I stayed awake the entire night. At 6 a.m., when the first light crept through the curtains, I got up, walked into the kitchen and made coffee. Every sound, the gurgle of the pot, the clink of the spoon, felt louder than usual. My hands were shaking. When I turned around, she was standing in the doorway, hair tied back, still wearing last night's clothes. "Couldn't sleep?" she asked. "Not really." "Mark, about last night." "Save it." I set my mug down and looked her in the eyes. "Where were you really?" "I told you, with Kelly." I grabbed my phone from the counter. "Funny," I said, "because I called Kelly at 1:30. She said she hadn't seen you all week." Her face went pale. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The hum of the refrigerator filled the silence. Finally, she whispered, "I didn't mean for it to happen." The world tilted slightly. So it did happen. Tears filled her eyes again, but this time I didn't feel sympathy. "It was just one night," she said. "It didn't mean anything. I was drunk and things just got out of hand." "One night," I repeated, the words bitter in my mouth. "And that's supposed to make it better?" She stepped forward, reaching for my hand. "Please, Mark. I made a mistake. I love you. I don't even know what I was thinking." I pulled away. "You knew exactly what you were thinking. You just didn't think you'd get caught." She covered her face, sobbing. The sound echoed through the kitchen, but I felt nothing, no anger, no pity. Just emptiness. For years I'd built my life around her. Late nights working overtime so she could chase her photography dreams. Weekend trips to places she wanted to see. Every decision I made for us. And now us was nothing more than a word. "I can fix this," she said, her voice trembling. "Please. We can go to therapy. I'll do anything." I stared at her for a long time. "You can't fix something you shattered on purpose." She crumpled against the counter, whispering apologies between sobs. I turned away and walked into the bedroom. By the time she realized what I was doing, I'd already pulled out a suitcase. "Mark, please." I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just folded her clothes neatly and placed them inside. The rhythm of it was strangely calming. Shirt, jeans, sweater, shoes. Every piece of fabric a memory. Every zipper a goodbye. She stood in the doorway, trembling. Where am I supposed to go? I paused, meeting her eyes. Maybe to Kelly's. Or maybe to his. The way her lip quivered told me I'd hit the mark. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said weakly. "Then you shouldn't have lied." When the bags were packed, I carried them to the front door. The morning light spilled across the floor, bright, cruel, honest. She followed me, her voice breaking. "Are you really throwing everything away?" I looked at her, really looked. The woman who once made my heart race now stood there like a stranger wearing her face. "No," I said quietly. "You did." She sank to the floor, sobbing, clutching her coat like it could hold her together. I didn't speak again. I just opened the door, and for the first time in months, I felt something close to peace. As I watched her leave, I realized betrayal doesn't just destroy love. It rewrites it. It takes every shared smile, every whispered promise, and stains it with doubt. I spent the rest of that morning sitting at the kitchen table, staring at her untouched cup of coffee. The silence in the house was heavy, but it was honest. For years, I'd been afraid of losing her. Now I finally understood something painful but freeing. Sometimes losing someone is the only way to find yourself again. When the clock hit noon, I opened the window and let the cold November air rush in. It burned my lungs, but it also cleared them. Her scent still lingered on the pillow, the perfume she'd worn last night. But it didn't make me ache anymore. It reminded me of what I'd survived. And by morning, her bags weren't the only thing waiting by the door. My forgiveness was too. Not for her. For me.